Pediatricians across the country are sounding the alarm about children's mental health. In fact, the American Academy of Pediatrics, American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, and Children's Hospital Association have declared it a national emergency. Dr. Brian Stenzler wants to help, and he joins us this morning. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning, Stella. Great to be here.
Yeah, glad you can join us. So you recently wrote a book. In fact, it actually hit a bestseller status in some Amazon categories, including parenting teens. So tell us about your book and how it helps parents.
Yeah, so the book is basically there. It's designed to help empower parents to help raise children naturally. So this way they could have really a lifetime of physical and mental health. We go through lives thinking, blaming the woes in life on bad luck, bad germs, and bad genes, where we can make different choices and oftentimes have different outcomes. And so this book covers all the aspects of a physically well lifestyle and mentally well lifestyle. So this way, especially now, when I started writing the book, it was well before the pandemic, but it's come out at a very timely point because we need to save our children right now because they're in a lot of trouble with socialization and everything else that's been going on.
Yeah, this book obviously is resonating with a lot of people. Doctor, how do we know when our children are struggling? Are there actions that we can take, even if maybe we don't recognize the signs?
Yeah, absolutely. Children have been going through this for the past 19 months, but mental health issues, mental illness that's not new. It's been around for a long time. So when you start seeing your child be disconnected, typically for a longer period of time, over a week or 2 weeks, they start disengaging. Maybe they're fighting more, they're acting out. Maybe they seem depressed. Different children of different ages will show the signs differently. Mm-hmm. And if there are concerns, you certainly want to see a mental health specialist. You want to see the psychologist, psychiatrist, or whatever it is that you do. But like you asked before, Stella, is what can you do to help prevent it, even if you don't see the signs? And that is what wellness is about. Wellness is a proactive approach to creating physical, mental, and social and spiritual well-being. And so we take positive action steps to help create an environment where we're doing the right things so we don't end up in that negative trajectory where we're dealing with mental illness issues.
So give me some of those examples.
Yeah, so affirmations are really important. If anyone's old enough to remember the old Stuart Smalley on Saturday Night Live, mm-hmm. I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and God on it, people like me. Well, that affirmations actually work. They've been around for a long time, and it's positive self-talk. Affirmations could also be negative self-talk. So when you say you can't do something, or if somebody's telling you can't do something, that's negative. But we want to focus on positive affirmations, being very careful about the words that we use. So parents, they have to be very cautious of the words that they use around their children. So if you say, my child is shy, or my child can't do this, that is the negative affirmation. But when you seed into your child all the positive things that they can do, how great they are, that they are loved, that they are a gift, that they are smart, that they are strong, that they are talented, those affirmations are really, really important. And there are lots of strategies to learn how to build affirmations, but that's just one of many things. Goal setting is another very important thing. People think of high executives doing goal setting. My kid just started, I have a 5.5, almost 6-year-old. He started Taekwondo a couple of months ago. And one of his goals is to achieve yellow belt by this particular time. So you can have goals in all aspects of life. It could be scoring something on a test. It could be making this many new friends. It could be getting this wonderful accomplishment, whatever it is for an individual. So goal setting is important. We also teach the importance of purpose statements. Young children, not as much, they don't quite understand the idea of purpose. And unfortunately, many adults also are not in alignment with purpose statements all the time. But this is understanding why you're put here on this planet. For some people, they have a high purpose to serve lots of people. For some people, it's just to be happy. But whatever it is, your goals and actions in life need to be in alignment with those purposes. And I always recommend expressing attitude of gratitude. Yeah. And if you can't be grateful, at least be graceful. One of the things that we teach our son, our little 5.5-year-old, is before he goes to bed every night, my wife or I will ask him 3 questions. And that is, what are you grateful for? What did you learn today? And who did you help today? So, every now and then by like 3 o'clock, he'll be like, Mommy, I can't wait to tell you what I learned today, or who I helped today, or what I'm grateful for. So it's just about creating a culture in your home to really build that health and wellness. And another huge thing is really evaluating existing relationships that are within and outside the home. Personal development motivational speaker Jim Rohn said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. Well, the same goes for kids. If the kids are hanging out with other kids who, older kids if they're in gangs, or younger kids who are the bullies, who aren't paying attention in school, who are doing bad things, well, that rubs off on our children. It rubs off on every person. So we have to evaluate who we're with all the time. I talk about the 5 facets or the 5 keys to a wellness lifestyle being dream, diet, relaxation, exercise, being an adjustment, mental wellness. Diet is everything that goes into the body from the outside world to the inside world. So it's everything you eat, drink, taste, touch, smell, feel, hear, all the movies you watch and all the people you spend time with is just as much part of your diet as the food you consume. So
Dr. Brian, it seems like you have
surrounding yourself with good, productive, constructive relationships, and not having destructive stuff going into your minds all the time.
We're running out of time. I got 30 seconds. It sounds like you have a lot of great information in this book. A lot of takeaways as I'm listening. Words of gratitude. Words are powerful. Attitude, of gratitude. All good stuff. Where can people get your book before we wrap up?
You could go to dreamwellnessbook.com. So like you dream at night, but it's DREAM, wellnessbook.com. Or they could just go to dreamwellness.com. We've got a lot of great resources for parents as well.
And Amazon. You can find it on Amazon.
And Amazon. Oh, it's on Amazon, of course.
Dr. Brian, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Of course, if anyone wants to rewatch this, if you're just tuning in, you can find this information on our website. We'll post this full interview on our website, cbs8.com. Dr. Brian, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Stella.